All right, guys, so we just got done with Submission Underground, and we had a great time. I got to tell you, it was weird. Everything was weird. But I feel like everything in TV is getting a little bit weird right now. I'm starting to get into it a little bit. I watched a Jimmy Fallon where he did the Tonight Show from his living room. Like his kid comes out and climbs on it. This wasn't staged or anything. It was this total organic movement that it was just in the reality of what we're doing right now and trying to keep the separation, all these different things. And it was fun. Submission Underground in many ways was the same. When you see a live sporting event that's silent, it's not really the first time we've seen it in martial arts. In all fairness, if you followed Pride would be packed, 20 and 25,000 people, but they were silent. It was like a respect issue. They were taking place in Tokyo, and that's how you watch an event. You don't cheer like, say maybe we're used to in America and Ireland and England. Well, maybe everywhere except Tokyo. I've actually never seen that except for anywhere from Tokyo. So Submission Underground goes on, and it's dead silent. And there's not a person in sight. And we had the right to have 8 people in the room, okay? Real broad stroke, fast ordinance for where we're at. But we had the right to have 8 people. We go, okay. But that went from 250 people to 50 people to 10 people, and it dropped to 8 people. So for all we know, this is going to change again. And we did the setup 4 days ago. So we go, okay, 4 people in the room. We're going to have 4 people in the room. Even though the rule says 8 right now, we're going to make it 4. So you got to have a doctor, you got to have a referee, and then you got to have the 2 athletes. Boom, 4. Every camera shot had to be set up. It was all on remote, operated from a truck 80 feet away, outside in a separate building. I'm the only commentator of a show. I'm in a separate building, catching it by feet on headlight. Look, it was a really great event. I will admit it was weird. It was unusual. It was different. I won't admit it was not great. There was something really cool about it. So we get to the main event, and the main event was Craig Jones. And you simply cannot discuss who the greatest grappler alive is without mentioning Craig Jones. You can talk to as many people as you want until you're blue in the face. You're going to come up to the same 3 guys. You're going to have Craig Jones, you're going to have Gordon Ryan mixed in there, and you're going to have Vinny. That's it. So he goes in and takes on Kevin Casey. But one thing that's so great about Craig Jones is he's such a weird style. I mean, it's just a different, like here, give you an example. Craig Jones became a high-level competitor, not only skill-wise, but he was going around and competing and winning a whole bunch of gold medals at a whole bunch of tournaments. And if you asked him what his gym was or who his coach was, he wasn't to that stage of his career yet. He was ordering DVDs online, putting them in, grabbing a buddy and practicing this stuff in the living room. So he goes into finally a formal gym, and the coach is like, "This is your first day in a gym? My friend, you're a black belt." He gives him a black belt. Now I'm changing the story a little bit, but that's really what happened. He was just one of these guys that was so passionate he just started learning. The irony of the whole thing is he now sells videos at bjjfanatics.com. He's the highest paid DVD instructor ever, which is pretty ironic considering he used to buy the DVD. So he goes in with Kevin Casey, but the story why his uniqueness is relevant. He's kind of like Wonder Boy Thompson or Lyoto Machida of MMA, where maybe I can figure out those skills, but I'm going to need a couple shots at it. You're going to bring me something that I don't see in the room. I don't see in other competitions or sparring. None of my opponents have done it. I'm going to need a couple of times at this, but I'll figure you out. Well, that's the thing with Craig, except tonight he had to take on Kevin Casey. Why that's relevant is they used to train together. So Kevin Casey, the mask was off. Everybody in the allure of Craig Jones and the fear around him, man, that mask was off. Kevin Casey didn't give a damn. That's just a guy he used to see in the room every day. It turned into a really good match. It turned into the longest match that Craig Jones has ever had. It was less than 3 minutes, but it still represents the longest match that Craig Jones has ever been part of. The guy's that good. It's just one of these things, and I'm starting to wonder, what do we do with the guy? What do you do? Him and Gordon are teammates. That match just happened 3 times. It's just, there's not an intrigue around that. And the only guy who he hasn't gone with yet is Vinny.